Some people look at Sonny Hayes, they see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot, the best that never was. But I see possibility.
So F1 is a Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson type of movie. If you were lucky enough to live through the 80s and 90s, you know there was just something intoxicating about what these producers could do. With Flashdance, with Top Gun, with Days of Thunder, you could overdose on imagery, style, music, and the sensations that these guys bring out in the oftentimes ridiculous but still adrenalized march toward a character's personal triumph. Now, Simpson may have passed on more than 30 years ago, but Bruckheimer is still doing his thing, still adding to that great stable of directors who understand over-the-top entertainment. And watching F1, my first thought is absolutely that director Joseph Kosinski is now in that rare class of directors who can supply that shot to the heart while keeping us invested in characters at the same time. Kosinski, of course, is the director behind Top Gun Maverick, and it's easy to see Tom Cruise kicking himself if he doesn't get him back for Days of Thunder 2. This movie is fast, it's electrifying, and it has great impact. It also has Brad Pitt playing one of the best race car drivers in the world named Sonny Hayes. He's raced against the best in NASCAR and Daytona, but we learn that those are just band-aids to his ultimate career failure, which is crapping out in Formula One racing 3 decades ago. He's been on autopilot ever since, loaning himself out to different teams, but mostly feeling dead inside with failed marriages and a van he lives in to prove it. Along comes his buddy Ruben, played by Javier Bardem, who owns an F1 racing team that currently needs a heck of a lot of help, primarily a veteran driver who to show the rookie driver a few tricks. That would be Damson Idris's Joshua, who is pretty much the cocky young hotshot to Pitt's veteran who has something to prove and no time to worry about the feelings of kids. A competition arises where both begin to drive for their jobs. But both of these guys are accomplished racers, and we see that every time they strap into their small little cockpit and shoot out like a rocket. Kosinski is a high-tech whiz, perfectly placing cameras on the cars so we feel like we're in them. We feel the roaring speed. We feel those turns. We feel like we're always just a couple seconds away from careening off a track going over 250 miles an hour. He uses split screens to great effect. At times, the carnage of a pure wipeout hits us like a gut punch, and he tries to give us an overview of how the race is going so that we understand what's going on. I think even if you're not overly familiar with Formula One, the movie presents its challenges of higher speeds, needing to use different strategies, and needing to work together with a team in a way that even a novice can really grasp it. And what's most important is that it also finds that tension, that feeling that kind of overcomes the predictability of a movie like this. The movie coasts on an underdog formula. There's no way around that, but it's also excellent at putting you in a moment. The characters' hopes become our hope. We're on the edge of our seat wanting to know how they're going to pull it off, and we feel their nervous energy. That all comes down to some very, very good acting here by everyone involved. Probably some of the best you'll see out of any movie this summer. Most notably for Brad Pitt, who is starting to transition into one of Hollywood's more elder statesmen now. He uses that mentorship well, laying down the law and spouting some harsh truths. But what makes it all the more poignant is not just his wins, but the fact that Sonny has experienced those hardships, has dreamed of getting back into the moment, feels he's earned the right to be a little bit selfish about it. That goes really well with the Idris character, who brashly goes toe-to-toe with Pitt, pushing himself even harder, thinking that he's actually auditioning for his job, either here or someplace else when his team falls apart. He too thinks rationally, and part of us thinks maybe this dude may jump ship and become an antagonist someplace else. Idris has been one of my favorite actors since the TV show Snowfall, and he shows an absolute star's charisma here again. Kerry Condon is also fantastic here as the team's sarcastically flirty technical director, Kate. She and Sonny begin at a place of trying to use aerodynamics to make the car go faster before slowly falling in love with each other. It doesn't have the exact sexiness of the Cruise-Kidman relationship from Days, but it's kind of adorable and moving when she accepts the role of sounding board for Pitt's worries. And then there's Javier Bardem and Kim Bodnia and Tobias Menzies, who all get roles here, either in roles of support or of antagonists who make the finale just a little bit more suspenseful. At the end of the day, I feel like this movie works a whole lot better than it doesn't, harkening back to the days when just practical skills and technical skills were used in such a way to just push it right at you and just make you feel that visceral excitement, make you feel that adrenaline, and then it gives you characters that are worth investing in at the same time too. And even if it is slightly long, at a slightly long 2.5 hours, the movie works. This is ultimate 80s and 90s cheese done well, even going so far as to use Queen's We Will Rock You before a race in one scene. F1 is just really wonderful throwback entertainment, and that's why I'm going B plus, guys. But that is my opinion. Love to hear yours. Let me know down below there. Also, if you could, click that like button, click that subscribe button, and I do hope to see you back next time. I thank you so much. Bye bye.